Welcome back, guys. So, Chantelle Cameron retained her super lightweight titles against Katie Taylor on Saturday night in a brilliant performance from her. She obviously defeated the undefeated, sorry, she defeated the undefeated champion herself in Katie Taylor, obviously who is the lightweight champion. It was a brilliant performance, do you know what I mean? And it started from round one. Obviously, Chantelle Cameron came out, you know what I mean, at a high pace. You know what I mean? She took the fight to Katie. She landed some brilliant shots in the opening rounds. And from my, you know what I mean, view, from my thoughts, you know what I mean, I knew early that it was going to be a tough night for Katie Taylor. And realistically, it was a 10-round fight. And I'd probably say that the first 4 rounds, quite easily, you know what I mean, I'd probably say was Chantelle Cameron's. I didn't score it on the night, but just from what I was watching, do you know what I mean? It was quite clear to see that Chantelle Cameron was winning up until that point. And then it weren't until like the second half of the fight where um, Katie Taylor literally began to um, try and win some rounds, and she done well. You know what I mean, Katie Taylor, but she didn't look her normal self. To me, she looked quite tired, lethargic, and um, yeah, it was just an interesting performance from Katie. I actually thought she was going to bring it a lot more to Chantelle Cameron, seeing how this was her home turf and um, she's the one with the more experience in bigger fights compared to Chantelle Cameron. But as I said, from round one, Chantelle Cameron just stuck it to her. And as I said, Katie didn't really want to know in the early part of the rounds, and then she tried to claw it back towards the latter part of the fight. But by then, it was pretty much too late because Chantelle Cameron had a good lead. Do you know what I mean? And at that point, it's harder to try and, you know what I mean, win the fight from that point. And the bigger puncher as well, you know what I mean, looked as if the bigger punches were coming from Chantelle Cameron, whereas Katie was fighting in bursts, you know what I mean, bursts of threes and fours, straight shots, and then she'd probably go inactive for maybe about 10, 15 seconds. Chantelle Cameron would probably throw some brilliant jabs and crosses and was catching Kate with some uppercuts every now and again. And then Kate Taylor would come back with threes and fours, like quick, short, snappy shots, but just wasn't enough to kind of put Chantelle Cameron off a game. However, as I said, this was Katie's first defeat. I no doubt have it that she will potentially look to revenge Chantelle Cameron, but I feel as if she probably needs to work on just a few things. You know what I mean? She needs to try and develop some power somehow, just to try and keep Chantelle Cameron off her, which is going to be quite tough because Chantelle Cameron is the bigger fighter between the two. So yeah, I expect a rematch maybe the latter part of this year. Um, I think the only fight that which could potentially stop that from happening would maybe be the Amanda Serrano fight, and that's whether or not Katie Taylor wants to take like a fight, an interim fight before that as well. But yeah, hats off and congratulations goes to Chantelle Cameron. What a performance! And she said she was going to defeat her, and she done it. As always, guys. Yeah, bless. Thank you.